Guys, today I want to talk to you about Aetherdrift, the first set we are going to be getting, not including Innistrad Remastered, because technically that's not a new set. Those will all be old cards. So Aetherdrift is going to be our first big tentpole set of the year in 2025. Now, this has been labeled as one of the meme sets that we've been getting, including Murders of Karlov Manor, Outlaws of Thunder Junction, and then this would be, I guess, the third meme set we are getting. Now, out of all of these meme sets, this is by far my favorite one of all of them. I mean, murder mystery and cowboys aren't really my thing, but Death Race, yes, it's a bit of me. I understand that a lot of people are furious at this sort of shit coming to Magic and that it doesn't really feel Magic-esque, and I completely get that. I think it's such a shame that we aren't getting more stuff like Tarkir Dragonstorm and instead it's filled with Universes Beyond and sort of this kind of thing. However, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer because I'm actually really excited for this set. I think it does look really cool, and I'm not really going to jump on the whole negative bandwagon because, yeah, I think this looks interesting, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun, a really fun sealed environment as well. So I wanted to go through everything that we know about Aetherdrift so far with you guys so we can get that hype going. So if that sounds good to you, then stay tuned for this video. So first things first, what is Aetherdrift? So Aetherdrift is going to be a set that takes place on 3 different planes. They did not tell us exactly which planes these are. However, they did strongly hint at some of them, and it's quite obvious to tell. So I'm going to talk about what the community is saying these ones are going to be. Now, 2 of them are fairly obvious, and then one of them is a mystery, but there's also some guesses about what that plane is going to be. So what we know so far about the story is that the main character is going to be Chandra, and she is taking part in this race to try to win the Aether Spark for Nissa, because we know that Nissa lost her spark, and the Aether Spark kind of is hinting at it has powers to give someone the powers of a planeswalker. So I think that's the whole story of it. Now, Chandra's birthplace is Kaladesh. Kaladesh is a plane that is very much like Magic is very like sort of looked down upon and outlawed, and instead a lot of Magic is drawn from the ether to fuel their artifacts and constructs and vehicles. So considering this is going to be a very vehicle heavy set, all of the pieces are aligning towards Kaladesh. Now, if you look at the first piece of art that we were shown from one of the planes, you can also see that this is strongly resembling Kaladesh. So definitely people are thinking Kaladesh is going to be the first plane. The second one, if we have a look, is looking like a desert world. Okay, you can see like some pyramid-esque in the background, some deserty biomes. So people are saying this is Amonkhet, the plane that is ruled by, or was ruled by, Nico Bolas, the big blue dragon, one of Magic's biggest villains. People are saying that this is where we are going to be going for one of these sets. Yeah, the choice for some of these planes is probably planes that they didn't feel like they could do a full set around, but also thought it would be cool to revisit. So that's probably some of the choices behind some of these planes like Amonkhet, because obviously this isn't, Amonkhet wouldn't be like a vehicle based plane, but I'm assuming the race starts in Kaladesh and then they race through these other 2 planes that, you know, has their own kind of hazards and stuff like that. But yeah, this is really, really cool. You can see like the little racetrack going through the desert. Very cool. And then the third biome we were shown was a jungly biome. This is the one that we don't know for sure. So people think the third plane could be potentially Muruganda or Pyrulea. Yeah, I don't know if I'm butchering that, but those are 2 planes that people are thinking it's going to be, because Mark Rosewater hinted at some dinosaurs, and I'm pretty sure dinosaurs can be found on these planes. So that is why people are sort of guessing them. They were on plane chase cards, or one of them at least was. So, you know, people are, you know, thinking it could be one of these. So that's interesting. We are going to be getting different teams in this plane, like racing teams, each based around maybe like a different race kind of. So one of the racing teams is going to be an insect team, which we can assume is going to be like a green racing team. We're told zombies, assuming that would be black. And then we were told, what was, oh, goblins. And we've got all art for these as well. So we've got some art for the insect team here, looking very cool. We've got the crazy goblins and their crazy little carts with his little goggles on. This just makes me laugh. Like, what a great piece of art. This is fantastic. And yeah, they're all trying to compete for the Ether Spark, which is this item here. It's kind of like the trophy. Again, supposedly this gives a creature planeswalker powers. We were given 3 cards to look at, so let's have a look at those first 3 cards that we've been shown. So the first card we're going to be looking at is Daretti, Rocketeer Engineer. So Daretti is a ex-planeswalker that used to originate from the plane Fiora, and he ended up planeswalking to Kaladesh. So this is another sign that this is definitely going to be originating in Kaladesh, because we've got another planeswalker that was depicted in Kaladesh. Daretti, Rocketeer Engineer is a 5-cost creature, legendary creature. So this is going to be one of the first legendary creature commander cards that we're going to be seeing. Daretti's power is equal to the greatest mana value among artifacts you control. Artifact cares. When Daretti enters or attacks, choose target artifact card in your graveyard. You may sacrifice an artifact. If you do, return chosen card to the battlefield. So I'll just say this now. All 3 of these cards, they're either artifact cares cards or they are artifacts themselves. So this is going to be a very artifact-y set, which I am really excited for, because I have just bought my Iron Man Secret Lair, and if you don't know, that's all about artifacts. So I'm really hoping to build maybe a deck around some of these Aetherdrift cards, or my life might be made easy and we might get a red-blue pre-con with the Aetherdrift set, and then I could just slot the Iron Man Secret Lairs into them. That would be nice, make my life a lot easier in terms of deck building and stuff. So that would be cool. But yes, so this is essentially just, yeah, a reanimation whenever Daretti attacks. So you get to reanimate a target artifact card in your graveyard. I don't need to tell you that there's some crazy stuff that we'll be able to do with this if we can end up dumping some really powerful artifact creatures into our graveyard. There's also supposedly going to be lots of ways to sack artifacts in this set. So it's going to be a case of sacking stuff and then bringing it back, yada yada yada. And with this, you want to control big high mana value artifacts so that Daretti can be as powerful as possible. Cool. So a little bit about Daretti. As I said, he's from Kaladesh. You can see Daretti is in a wheelchair, and this is because when he got his spark, this was an explosion that was caused when he was doing some sort of inventing artificery stuff. The explosion almost killed him, or would have killed him, but it ignited the spark. The damage of the explosion made him lose the use of his legs, which is why he is in a little wheelchair here. But yeah, so it's cool. Daretti does have some other Planeswalker cards as well, so if you want, you can also check those out, and those are Artifact Cares cards as well. So, cool. Right, that's Daretti. Let's move on to the next card, the Bright Glass Gearhulk. Now, this is clearly one of the artifact constructs that we see in Kaladesh again. So we know this is definitely Kaladesh because there's just so much to point towards there. Bright Glass Gearhulk, artifact creature construct. First strike trample, which is a 4/4 as well. When this creature enters, you may search your library for up to 2 artifact, creature, or enchantment cards and/or enchantment cards with mana value 1 or less. Reveal them, put them in your hand, then shuffle. Team, you don't need me to tell you how broken this is. The amount of stuff that this can search out is crazy. I've listed some really cool stuff in my notes here. So this can get Commander's Plates, again, in the Iron Man Secret Lair, which is the first thing I noticed, so that's cool. It can even grab artifact lands. It can get like Commander staples like Esper Sentinel, Hardened Scale, Skull Clamp, Soul Ring, the Ozolith, which is in the Wolverine Secret Lair, Urza's Saga. Yeah, a lot of stuff that this thing can grab. So it's very, very, very good. Tutors are always going to be powerful, especially in Commander. And then it has some decent stats to go with it. It's not even that expensive. 2 green, 2 white. That's it. 4 mana. So, yeah. this is a good card. There's not much to say about it. The art is stunning as well. And the last card we were shown was Earthrumbler. Now this card is a 5-cost card, artifact vehicle. It's the first vehicle we're looking at, the actual one of our first sort of race car / bikes that we're going to be getting. So this one is a car. Vigilance Trample. Exile an artifact or creature card from your graveyard. This vehicle becomes an artifact creature until the end of the turn. It has crew free. So the idea is that probably you don't really want to be crewing this. You would rather just get this out for free by exiling stuff from your graveyard. We can maybe assume again that there's going to be ways to fill your graveyard with these artifacts, especially if you've got like this Golgari theme going on with green and black. And yeah, so this is depicting one of the insect teams, and it's literally trampling over other cars. It's running them over. Very nice flavor win there by giving that trample as well. And in the background, you can see that we are on that third world, the jungly world. Clearly in the background, there's loads of vines on the racetrack and all that stuff. But yeah, it's cool. This vehicle looks amazing. Definitely what you'd expect an insect to have. Just this huge horned horns at the front, and the like insect in the driver's seat is like, yeah, it's like he's having a great time. So yeah, the flavor text here: the Brood inspires to become speed itself. I'm assuming the Brood is the name of the race team, but you know, who knows? I could be wrong. But yeah, very cool. Mark Rosewell was basically saying that because they wanted to fill this set with vehicles, they needed to find ways to make the vehicles do things when they were not creatures, basically. So whether that's ways of trying to cheat them out like this, or they come into play and do other interesting stuff before they even become creatures. So yeah, very, very, very cool. If you like vehicles, if you like artifacts, then you're probably going to enjoy this set. Another thing, if you look at this piece of art, we can get a sneak peek of one of the other racing teams. I'm assuming this is going to be a blue one because it's like a shark man. It looks like on the front, it's definitely some sort of aquatic person. And his vehicle that he's using, I'm not sure if, I think it's almost like a boat. It looks like a boat almost. And yeah, it's like almost like a ship. It's got like a massive shark face with a cannon coming out the front of it. Very, very cool. So I'm assuming this is going to be one of the blue teams, and they're racing around Armanket. We could assume is Armanket anyway. So, and then we also can see one of the insects, and then Chandra on her red motorcycle with a flaming ball in her hand about to burn some shit. So yeah, guys, that is all we know about Aetherdrift so far. We are getting this set in February, so it's not too far away, just after Innistrad Remastered. So let us discuss in the comments below. Are you excited about Aetherdrift, or are you absolutely fuming that race cars are coming to Magic the Gathering? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you like this video and you don't want to miss my future content, then why don't you hit that subscribe button down below? It really helps to support the channel team, so thank you so much for that. Other than that, I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day, and I hope to see you all again in the next one. Cheers.